Welcome, my name is Shara and this is StarMade. Last time we worked on our universal trading ship. We built this beautiful kitchen. I'm still quite proud of that. But yeah, this area for now is done. Um, I think I can't really add a lot more detail in this area than I already have, so we'll leave it for now. Because in this episode I want to concentrate on an area that connects to the front of the ship, because we still have a lot of empty space in here. So that's basically all the way from approximately where the escape port starts all the way to the front of the ship. So we need to fill in these areas and figure out a bit of a layout for the rest of this space that we have here. But for today, I think I want to concentrate mainly on the areas connected to these hallways. So we already have the swimming pool that I built here. I think it's 2 episodes ago now, but it's only on this side. So on the other side of the ship, we have nothing yet. So yeah, we need to think up a couple of ideas that we can use to fill in these areas. So let's get started. The first thing I'm starting with is setting up a bit of a layout for this front area over here, because I want to know how this area is going to connect to the rest of the ship, and that influences the space I have, for example, for this swimming pool area and all the other rooms I have in this section of the ship. So that's very important for me to determine all the sizes. I was experimenting a bit how I want the hallways to go. What I'm leaning against now is having this hallway that comes from the shopping district over here, go all the way to the side of the ship, and then wrap around on this end, and then wrap back to the middle section of the ship, and then have some sort of bigger space here in the front. And then we have areas here in the middle that we can use for different purposes. It's a similar setup as I had for some of the lab areas I have on the deck below here in the back of the ship. So it's not all that dissimilar in layout. So this also gives me the definite size of the areas I have over here for the swimming pool and the area below, like I said before. So now I know how big this is going to be. Now that I was working on figuring out a layout for this front section, I decided to go for broke and just do the whole part. So that's going to really help in figuring out what I want to do here. And as you can see here, I started using the same layouts for the hallways. So I copied sections of those and then placed them as modules connecting to each other for the hallways. And here I'm figuring out the sizes with these light gray blocks to see if it matches the size I need, and then connect it correctly to the rooms that I have available. So now that I have a general shape of this area, I can also think about ideas of what I want to go here. For example, this bigger area over here, I think I'm going to use this as perhaps a theater or a film, a movie theater, things like that. And then, for example, this area over here could be a set of stairs that leads to the floor above, because this is most likely going to take up a 2-floor high space. So 2 floors is something that interconnect here as well. So I probably have to connect, or at least figure out a layout for the 2nd floor here, connecting to this piece of hallway as well. And use that as a reference for the rest. Looking from this area in the shopping district through the hallways, this also is something I wanted to spruce up a bit, having some more points of interest. And one of these is, well, what is familiar already, I think, a bathroom. I'm throwing these in every place I can, at least where it's appropriate, I think. It's a nice filler, and it's The sign here is a nice yellow reference point within the rather gray and blue hallway. So that's quite a nice change of pace. I also added this door here to separate this section of the hallways and the section that leads to the front of the ship. So we have a bit of a distinction between those two. And I started working on the pool area over here. And as you might have noticed, I moved the pool. Because I already know how big this pool area is going to be, I could at least see what would be the most logical place to place doors and other areas. And I had this area free over here that I could use as a changing area, but the pool was in the way to get there, so I moved it to the left side of the room. And as you can see here, I started to figure out a pattern for the bowl. I wanted to do something with a nautical or at least a water themed type of wall, so sort of a wave pattern with blue and white works out quite nice, I think. And of course a nice white tiled floor you can walk across. So you enter here, then you have got this walkway area all the way to this area where you're going to change, and then after you change you cross this and then you're in the wet area of the swimming pool. On the other side of the ship we had this same area left over, but I wanted to go for something different in there. And we are on the top floor at the moment, and if you go in here you can see I've got this sporting facility here now. So instead of a swimming pool, it's something athletic as well, but in this case you can play basketball here or soccer or anything else that needs a gym like this. And if you've got this area here for the public to sit and watch the spectacle down below. I've got this snack hut in here as well, so you can grab some hot dogs or something like that during the game, for the public at least. And yeah, it worked out quite nicely, I think, for well, what is basically a rather small area for a sporting area, I think. And of course, here down below is the entrance for the sports arena itself. I more or less completed the swimming pool area now. It hasn't got a ceiling yet, but that's for later. But I did put in the changing room area, so we've got a couple of cubicles that you can open like this and then well, change into your swimming trunks and then go into the pool. And I continued this wave pattern in here that gives it a very swimming pool kind of look, I believe. Oh yeah, and here are some showers, so after your dip in the pool you can take a shower here and then change back in the cubicles again. So that's all quite nicely laid out, but I've got a problem with this area. How am I going to connect everything on this end? I can of course continue the hallway like this and then go the same as the hallway I did down below here, but then I have to add these types of awkward areas next to it to fill it in. But I had this idea. What if I create a sort of restaurant or something like that, or a bar next to the swimming pool and then have windows in this wall? Because if you are in this swimming pool, for example, your children are swimming here, then you want to keep an eye on them. And if you're not swimming yourself, you have to have a place to sit. So restaurant next to the pool, then with a window to look over the pool to keep an eye on everybody. So that's the idea I had. Now I have to just implement it. So that also ties into this hallway. So now we have to think of a different way to connect this hallway, because that's not going to work if we can't continue it over here. And here we go. Nice big window looking into the swimming pool area, so you can keep an eye on everything. And here's the solution I come up with for the hallway. So we still have this junction over here, and then over here we going to have a door to this restaurant bar type of area, and then over here we have this type of door with the orange light as well to the rest of the ship. So this hallway is going to continue over here. So that's a different path it's going to take than the hallway down here on the level below it. So yeah, I should have enough space in this area for my restaurant ID, and I can also do that on this side of the ship. So some sort of, in this case, it's going to be a bar, because that's mostly associated with sporting venues like this, I think. So I can probably do a similar setup that I did with the snack hut over there, and then connect it to a bar area over here. Yeah, should be enough space for that as well, I think. But let's continue first on this restaurant ID. I use this door design with these blue force fields to the side. It gives a bit of flair and a bit of color to a door design, because force field you can open the same as Plex door, so if you open and close them, it's the same behavior. Quite like how this turned out. So I did a bit of a floor in here. It goes up one block, so we got a small set of stairs here, because I wanted this one block higher so you could overlook the pool a bit better. And I decided to do some designing for furniture in here for our little restaurant, or whatever I'm going to call it. And I googled some pictures, and I found this picture of I believe it was a Chinese restaurant that had this steel furniture in combination with wooden partitions. I quite liked how that looked, so I tried to replicate it a bit here. But yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to place the furniture in this area, because it's not that wide. And I do need an area over here as well for a small kitchen, so I need to construct it as well. So as you can see here, I continue to hallway as well. So now it goes like this, so more of a zigzag pattern, and then it lines up with the hallway down here as well. So we have plenty of space next to here for the kitchen, and then for the rest of the ship over there. And here we go. Got quite a lot of chairs in this area, and I decided to keep this steel design and incorporate it a bit in the walls as well. And we've got these bench areas with some separate chairs and the tables in between. And oh, this is a nice trick. Yeah, two of those slabs in the same space. So I'm using a docked entity, the same as I did with the inlaid floors. It's the same entity actually, to get those in the same spot. So I could put more tables and chairs in there. And then it goes to here, to this section with the kitchen. It's a similar but smaller setup as the bigger kitchen for the bigger restaurant. So I've got this counter over here where the food is given out to the servers. Then in here we've got our sinks and our cooking stations and the fryer, etc. And air fence, etc. And a nice walk-in cooling section with a lot of space for storage. So this works out quite nicely. So this area is, in my opinion, quite finished. On the other end of the ship, I wanted to do something similar like I said before, so let's go there. I did a bit of a layout in here as well. It's quite empty at the moment, but I decided to go for a different theme, because this is connected to this sporting area over here. I decided to go for this green type of front of this bar area, similar to a Irish pub, at least a very stereotypical Irish pub. And I did a brown here in here to simulate wood colors. Lots of wood used in the floor and in depending on the walls. And over here I've got a bit of a block palette that I might integrate in here to enhance this feeling a bit more. And over here I've got space as well for perhaps a small kitchen or something like that, and the bar area in this section, I think. So let me work on that a bit more, and I'll get back to you when I got a bit more details. Quite a nice look from the outside here. You see already a lot of details inside. I decided to go for a red themed chair design, but basically it's using the same type of style with the tables in the middle as I did for the other restaurant. And over here we've got my lovely little bar area with some bar stools, but yeah, they're just pipes, but just pretend they're bar stools. And I've got this work counter behind there. Got some sitting areas over here with some decorations on the wall for the cacti and the red soil or rock type blocks that I laid out before. So yeah, this is turning out quite a nice little layout, I think. And behind here we've got a kitchen as well. It's a very small one, even smaller than the other one, but it does have everything you need. Then again, a very small walk-in storage cooler unit. So yeah, I think this area is now complete as well. I think we did quite a lot with adding more interior to the ship, but now I have to, after this, concentrate on the section in front of this area, because now the main commercial area is I think done as far as layout and areas is concerned. So just the detailing phase is left over. One more thing before we close this episode. I did create an area I didn't show any progress on, and that's on the lower floor here, below the swimming pool area we built. So in this hallway we've got a doorway, and this leads to this futuristic looking room I put here, and this houses two simulator pods, or what you call them, some sort of VR system or gaming system. I wanted to do something here like an arcade, but it turned into this. And I did use some real action over here. So if you press this button, you can see that the pod closes. And for example, if you press this one, then this one can open. So you go in here, you can sit on this chair, and then press the button over here to close this on top of you. And then the VR simulation or game can start, and you can play. So this is the last area I wanted to show. So this section, like I said, is now done. And if you have any questions or other remarks, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.